Hi guys. Hello mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress Video. I decided to do another unfair comparisons video as I have not done one in a while. Forgive the sounds of late afternoon in spring and children outside. It's too hot for me to close the window, so and usually that kind of ambient background noise doesn't bother me personally, so hopefully you feel the same. Okay, so we're going to compare Shadowscapes to Tarot of the She today. Reason being, part of the reason why I do these unfair comparisons videos is usually because one of the decks is because there's a similar vibe to me in some sense, and one of the decks isn't completely connecting with me. So with me, the deck that I haven't completely connected to yet is Tarot of the She. Shadowscapes, I love, 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 although I don't actually reach for it that much. Do you guys have that same, if you have Shadowscapes, do you absolutely love it every time you look at it, but you don't actually get it out that often? um, I'm just wondering. So first of all, these are the backs. I love the backs of both of these cards. Both these decks have a back that is, I'm going to close the window a little bit at least. Sorry, I'm always bumping the tripod in my video. Sorry about that, guys. Both of these backs have a very beautiful, meditative, they look like a fairy circle, you know? So I did pick these two decks to compare to each other because they're both what I would consider fairy decks. I love the approach that the artist did on Tarot of the She. Let me look up who the actual artist is because I don't have it off the top of my head, but I do have the guidebook here. Emily Carding for Tarot of the She. I like her approach. Her approach was just sort of free drawing, kind of like she doesn't consider herself an artist, and she just wanted to kind of just go for it intuitively with each card, and I do like that. The cardstock on both of these is good, I think. A lot of people complain about Llewellyn cardstock, but it really, I mean, yeah, it gets a little chipped up on the corners and stuff, but I like it. So here's the Fool. They both have that sort of flowing red ribbon situation going on. Might move these in a little closer to each other. Wow, they're both winged figures with flames in their hands. Only this one's green energy and this one's literal flames. This guy is a mermaid. This hair and face reminds me of one of the stepsisters on the Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella from the 60s. You know, one of those crazy turn your hair into horns princess situations. Wow, okay. I thought that these decks were thematically kind of similar, but I mean, these two cards look like interpretations of the same card, you know? When did Emily Carding create her deck? 2010. So it's possible that she was influenced by the Shadowscapes deck in doing her Tarot of the She. I wouldn't be surprised if she has the Shadowscapes deck in her collection. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not like she's being derivative, but there could be some inspiration there. And I could see if I were going to create my own tarot deck, I would definitely be using my favorite of each card and doing my own version of it for a lot of them. I like that this is called the Elder, And I like that he's like, his little altar table is this beautiful tree stump. I like that. But this tree looks like it could be this tree, you know? Both of these decks also have the issue, I wouldn't call it an issue necessarily, but the similarity in that they both have a lot going on. Like this, there's a lot to look at in both of these images. There's a lot to look at in every single one of Stephanie Pullman-Law's images in this deck. I think that's part of the reason why I don't pick it up that often. And that's also, I mean, I definitely shy away from using either of these decks in videos that I make for you guys for pick-a-pile readings, because there's just so much going on. You have to get up really close to see either of these decks, you know? Love the energy in both of these strength cards. Although it feels a little, I don't know, it feels a little chaotic in this one. Like, okay, we're riding a dragon. That makes sense for a strength card for sure, but he's riding a boat and pointing towards an island far away. Okay. They both have like kind of like a journey. Like most hermit cards don't really show a journey within the card, but both of these kind of do. Like this is a journey inward. This is an intentional journey inward in both of these cards. It's just so hard to like appreciate the detail in these cards in a video. Like you just can't do it almost. This is one of my favorite Justice cards. I think I like this one better. Never really liked this one. This is the card that started. This was the first one that she did in this deck. In Tarot of the She. And it's, wow, it's powerful. That's a powerful image. I'd love to have that as like a print. Sorry, my table's a little unstable. I wonder if I put my leg on both sides of it, if I can kind of hold it down. I like this like personification of the devil as Pan, which is kind of what's happening here too, honestly. And there's a lot of great symbolism in this card. Kind of like being trapped, but the key's right there. You just have to reach for it. I like to see a tower card that's like, in this sense, like the mask is breaking off. This person is exuberantly breaking free. That's kind of a cool way to look at the tower. I kind of like that. It's like I never noticed. Sometimes I really have to like, and I'll even like be watching this video back after I record it and upload it for you guys, and I'll be like, whoa, I'll see things in these decks that I've never seen before. I like this. The weird perspective I like. Like her lips are tiny, her head is huge, her eyes are huge, and her hands are small, you know, like it doesn't make sense, but there's something just so expressive about it. I love when people that don't consider themselves artists make art, because then they're just like free of all the stupid trappings that you learn in art school. This is one of my favorites. I really like this sun card. This sort of like, we are all connected, we are all dancing, they're all holding hands, and she's inviting you into the dance. I really like that. Of course, he's reaching his hand out too. This is almost that same person. Like, she's invited you into the dance, and then after you've been dancing a while, she's like, okay, pick a fucking path, bitch, answer your call. Like, she's a little bit more confrontational in this sense. Sometimes I think that world cards, like, not enough thought was put into them. Like, I'm especially picky about world cards. Like, I want them to feel like an exuberant, joyful ending, you know? I want them to feel as big as their energy is supposed to be. And I get that sense with the Shadowscapes card, but I really don't get it with this one. It just seems a little too simple to be what I want it to be, but that's just me being picky. I really like that with the Minor Arcana and Tarot of the She, the beginning of each suit, they've been renamed, and I like that the beginning, the ace of each suit tells you the element. So just in case you were confused and you don't have your guidebook anymore, you remember. So wands have become warrior and Tarot of the She. I also like the keywords. Like, I don't really, at this point, I think I've gotten rid of all my decks that have keywords except for Tarot of the She. And since I haven't totally connected with it yet, I mean, I may not keep it forever, but I think I'm going to. I do like the keywords though. I like when a deck does that, because it's like putting it out there. So if you were going to keep it as your only deck, I could see how it might be distracting to have keywords. But if you do, like I do, I have like 20 decks. If you have several different decks, then while you're reading with a deck that has keywords, you can just kind of explore, like, even if you disagreed with Power Awakes, you could, if you're using this deck in a reading and you pull Power Awakes, you could just sort of like experiment with, like, okay, what if I was thinking of that card as Power Awakes, even though I normally don't think of it like that. And you can let the meaning of that particular card in this particular deck kind of change. I like that. I just like the ballsiness of it, like being willing to take the tarot, which is such an established system with mostly established meanings for the cards, and put it out there, like with a keyword on the card itself. This is what I think of it. I just think it's ballsy. I like it. Like, foundations blessed. That's really cool, because I do think of fours as foundations. You don't always have to think of it as a particular celebration. Action frustrated. I mean, yeah, right? That's totally Five of Wands. Now I'm liking this Tarot of the She more than I ever have by looking at it. Just going through it again. It's so expressive. Every time I see this one, I think it's the Knight of Wands when it's the 9. This one just doesn't quite give me what I need from a 9 of Wands for some reason. This is one of my favorite 10 of Wands. I probably said it in, I have another Shadowscapes video on here. I probably said it in that one. But I like that, like, she probably, her back probably fucking hurts. And she's wearing a mask to mask the pain. But she's doing it, you know? It is surmountable. And each of the court cards have a gift. So, gift of courage for the warrior princess, which I do think of the Page of Wands as being a slayer. So that totally makes sense to me. See, doesn't that look like, maybe it doesn't really look like it. Yeah, it's not totally the same, but in my mind it feels the same. I'm not trying to critique Shadowscapes. I think that Stephanie Pumanlaw's art is so fucking gorgeous. Gift of Spirit for the Knight of Wands. Gift of Charm for Warrior Queen. I wish this was had like some more contrast in it or something. Like, it just seems a little too busy, just the composition of this image. But this, oh girl, love it. Gift of Glory. And then we have Cups, which is Dancer in Tarot of the She. The Dancer. I'm sorry, but there is no better Two of Cups ever, ever, ever. This is the one. I love it so much. Soulmates. Three of Cups, Jubilance. No better Three of Cups either. There's a reason why you've seen a lot of Three of Cups cards that are mermaids, because this card started it all. I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, this is the oldest deck that has 3 mermaids for Three of Cups. It probably isn't, but it's the oldest one that I know of. Correct me if you need to in the comments. Vain reflection. I mean, that's exactly what she's doing. I'm gonna go ahead and take these backs aside since they're getting to be just as tall of a pile. Where loss resides. I don't like that face. I don't know. It just disturbs me. Illusion's Depths. See, that's not exactly this scenario disturbs me. This is not the way that I think of Seven of Cups. Escaping stagnation. That's kind of true, right? Leaving a colorless world. And this, I love that this has Saturn, because this is the Saturn Returns card. Eight of Cups is all about that. Sometimes I forget Eight of Cups is a Saturn return card. That is important to remember for me personally. Make a wish. I have a personal pet peeve. Let me know if you guys have had the same problem. When I see like just a male and female couple in the Ten of Cups. I like how in the Rider Waite Smith, you're just seeing the backs of a couple of people with kids. You don't have to assign gender, but just seeing and I shouldn't have a problem with this because I don't have kids and I'm married to a dude. So this is a Ten of Cups scenario that fits me personally. But I don't know, it just feels too specific to have. I mean, I don't think Stephanie Puman Law is at all like. I think if Ten of Cups is just being a community, it's not just two people. And I like that. This is definitely a Ten of Cups moment right there. Page of Cups. This is the Page of Cups in Shadowscapes. This is the Page of Cups that I think of as like the definitive Page of Cups card. Gift of Expression. Totally, totally true. Knight of Cups. Gift of Passion. Dance Queen. Gift of Truth. That is not exactly the word I would use. Not sure what I would use, but it wouldn't be truth. Gift of Truth is Queen of Swords to me. So we'll get, I wonder what that one says. We'll get there. The Dreamer. Our swords in air. I like this. It's like a mudra. It's doing a little air, elemental air mudra with her hands. I like that. Is this like black shit that's on my Shadowscapes cards? Half Moon Truce. Very interesting. I love this visual. Soul loss. Restoration. This is where we all are right now. If you're seeing this in real time, spring 2020. Hope discarded. Yikes. Insight's Voyage. Yeah. See, this brings almost an element, just the words Insight's Voyage brings more of an element of like, maybe when you get the Six of Swords, you're going through an actual like psychological reformation period. Maybe it's just the act of confronting what you've been through that makes you in a Six of Swords moment. That's pretty cool to think about it like that. I've been sort of like redefining and refining the way that I think of the Six of Swords the last few days. A coward betrays. Yikes. That's gruesome almost. I don't know. Something is just, I don't like it at all. This is another thing, like, it didn't occur to me till today. I was doing some readings outside because it's super nice out today where I am. And I was doing some readings out in my backyard. And I kept pulling Eight of Swords, and I kept thinking, I've been defining us in this moment of quarantines as being in a Four of Swords moment. But we're also kind of in an Eight of Swords moment, like, because we have put ourselves, we have trapped ourselves inside, a lot of us. We're doing it for the good of the community. We could break out at any time, but we're choosing not to. So it's almost like the bright side of Eight of Swords, you know? Like we're putting ourselves in these chains for the good of our community. Isolation. Gift of telling. Okay. Yeah, the Page of Swords is kind of like she's a radio DJ. She's like a political activist, you know. She's telling it like it is. Gift of Liberty. Yeah, the Knight of Swords I think of as the White Knight. He's gonna swoop in and save your ass. Gift of Reason. I mean, yeah. I just think if you're gonna use Gift of Truth, you should use it for this card since she used it elsewhere. But again, that's the risk you take by like putting yourself out there with keywords. I love this Queen of Swords, by the way. I just love her like scythe shield. Nice. I like him too. Gift of Judgment. What is this deck? Did it call Judgment, or was there another word for it? Yeah, it was Judgment. Okay. Just wondering. The Maker. Pentacles, Earth. What's happening here? Seeds. It's umbilical. You've been born of the tree, I guess. You've been born of the earth, you know? Okay. That makes sense. Labor's fruit. What did this say? Responsibility. Both of these decks kind of have that same problem of like, I just feel like so overwhelmed by everything that's going on that I just, you know, I get them out and I look at them, and I definitely use this deck. I definitely use Shadowscapes, but most of the time, like, I always pick a deck that I work with all week. And with Shadowscapes, I'll get it out and I'll shuffle and I'll pull the cards for the week. Like I do that every Sunday. I pull a card for every single day of the upcoming week. And then with Shadowscapes, I almost always, like, halfway through the week, I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. And like, I trade it out for a different deck. It's weird. Because I'll keep the deck out and like I'll pull my card of the day and I spend the whole week with that particular deck. Anytime I do any readings, I use that deck. I usually pull a supplemental card for each day on the actual day. But with Shadowscapes, I always give up partway through. I think that's what happens with Tarot of the She as well. I just get overwhelmed. I can't use it for an entire week. But this deck, Shadowscapes, is like, it's not negotiable. It's never leaving my collection. But with Tarot of the She, like, if that continues, if I don't ever really spend some time getting to know it, which I just have not done yet, even though I've had it for several months. If I don't do that in the next few months, I might end up moving this one on. But I really like a lot of the intuitive hits that I get from just flipping through it. Kingdom prospers. Gift of creativity. Gift of connection. Gift of healing. Gift of skill. All right. right, there's my unfair comparisons of Shadowscapes versus Tarot of the She. What do you guys think? This will have the added benefit now that these decks are in order. I'm just going to put them back in their little bags in order. And that way I'll know, like, if I don't get this deck out again until like November or something, then I'll know exactly how long it's been since I put it in order, which was end of April. I keep Tarot of the She in this beautiful purple velvet bag. And I keep Shadowscapes in this beautiful black lace bag. Actually came from NYX Cosmetics. But hey, it's gorgeous lace. Like everything you order from their website comes in these gorgeous lace bags. Or they did whenever I got this one. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. That's been a few years. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. What other decks would you like me to do unfair comparisons of? Yeah, I could make a list of all of my decks, I guess. Or you could just make some suggestions and I will go from there. Okay,